In 2019, Englishman Harry Ward came seemingly out of nowhere to win a senior PDC title, aged just 21. But then, just a year and a half after that, he announced he was voluntarily stepping away from the PDC Tour, a move we normally only see from much older players. Hello and welcome back to the Darts World channel. Today we're going to take a look at the rise and then shocking early retirement of Harry Ward. The BDO first held a World Youth Championship in 2015, with the final held at Lakeside, and the rounds before that played as a floor event in late 2014. Harry managed to come through the field of over 64 players, beating Callum Ridds 3-2 to reach the stage final. At Lakeside, he failed to pick up a single leg in a 3-0 set loss to Colin Rolos, in which both players averaged in the 70s. In the rest of that year, he played on the PDC's development tour, finishing 20th on the Order of Merit and reaching the final of one of the events, where he lost 4-0 to Barry Van Peer. He played on the Challenge and development tours in 2016, but didn't reach a final, with the highlight of his year instead being qualifying for a Euro Tour for the first time, the European Darts Open, where he was beaten 6-4 by Richie Edhouse in his first appearance on a big PDC stage. Then in 2017, he reached two more finals on the development tour, but lost 5-1 to both Ryan Meikle and Rusty Jake Rodriguez. Ahead of the 2018 season, Harry, who at the time was 20, was signed by Unicorn, one of the sport's biggest manufacturers. They released darts for him, which were 56.4mm long, which at the time was one of the longest used by a pro. In his first season as a Unicorn player, he managed to reach his first Challenge Tour final, but was beaten in a final yet again, this time 5-2, by Dennis Nilsson. Towards the end of the year, Harry also made it out of the groups of the PDC World Youth Championship before beating now tour card holders Rhys Griffin and Ryan Meikle, and eventually losing out in the quarters to Callum Ridds, the player who he beat to reach the BDO World Youth Final. Then at Q School at the start of 2019, Harry had a dream run on the first day, winning 6 games against the likes of Jim Williams and Richie Howson to reach a tour card shootout against Mark McGuinney, where he brilliantly averaged just under 103 to secure a minimum 2-year stint on the Pro Tour. Following that, he spoke to Dutch darts expert Jack Newlark.
The Dutch viewers don't know who Harry Ward is. Give us a little summary of who you are.
I'm just an aspiring player. Just hopefully years to come I'll be up there, top 32 in the world. I still work. I still.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a bricklayer.
Bricklayer.
With my dad and my 2 brother-in-laws. So it's a family affair, But, I'm so pleased. You never know, if I do well on the Pro Tour, I could maybe quit my job, take darts full time. So hopefully it goes that well. So happy to get the tour card. I mean, I didn't think I would, but I knew I was playing well. I just hoped to win a few games, here and there. But honestly, it's an unreal feeling to have the tour card.
Then, just a few weeks later, in his first Players' Championship appearance as a tour card holder, he went on a great run to the quarterfinals, starting with a 6-5 win over Simon Whitlock, who at that point was ranked within the world's top 10. That run also included a 6-0 whitewash win over Jan Dekker, but then just a few weeks after that, at the UK Open, Dekker managed to beat Harry after he'd comfortably started with a win against the Riley's qualifier. He then had some quiet months with some inconsistent form and some averages in the 70s and 80s, but in April he made some headlines for hitting his first PDC 9 darter in a Players' Championship game against Willie O'Connor, in which he averaged 106, his first 10 plus average since Q School, but in the next round he failed to follow that up and lost to Ian White with an average of just 78. But then, everything changed in May, beginning with a run to his second Pro Tour quarter-final of the year, which featured wins over Johnny Clayton and Matt Top, both of whom averaged over 100, as well as Peter Wright. 2 weeks after that, he also managed to qualify for his first Euro Tour of the year at the 7th qualifier, securing a spot in the Dutch Darts Masters, which took place a week later. But before that, there was a Players' Championship weekend, where on the Sunday something crazy happened. He managed to reach yet another quarter-final after hitting a 1-4-5 checkout to beat Michael Smith in a deciding leg, and then managed to reach his first semi-final after beating Nathan Aspinall 6-5, having missed 9 match darts along the way. Harry then managed to beat Jose de Souza 7-4 to sensationally reach the final, where he would face German number 1 Max Hopp, who had won 2 titles in 2018. Harry hit the ball to win the throw for the best of 15 game, and the first 6 legs won with throw, with it being 3-all, but then Ward began to pull it away, winning the next 3 legs to go 6-3 up, and just 2 legs away from a dream title. But then, Max managed to win 4 of the next 5 legs to force the last leg decider at 7-0. In that leg, Harry managed to hold his nerve and throw to take out 68 in 3 and secure the title, having been a 500-1 outsider at the start of the day. He became the 5th youngest winner of a senior PDC title, only behind Hop, Michael Smith, Adrian Lewis and MVG. Following the game, he spoke about his potential going forward and said that he'd been practicing a lot more and wanted to go full time one day. It was then time for his Eurotour appearance in the Netherlands, and he faced Dutchman Danny Noppert in a game which he lost 6-1, but that doesn't tell the full story, as Harry managed to average 103.32, just under a point less than Danny, meaning that his good run of form continued, but didn't deliver the result. In August, he then beat Ryan Joyce and Bradley Brooks to qualify for his second and the penultimate Eurotour event of the year, the International Darts Open in Munich. At the event, Harry was the bookies' favourite for his first round match against Reece Robinson, but fell 4-2 down. But he then won 4 legs in a row to get his first Eurotour win after a poor game in which both players averaged 81. Harry only managed to improve his average by 2 points in round 2 and was whitewashed by Mensah Suljovic, who averaged 101. Harry then finished the Players' Championship season with an average of 90.01, the 83rd highest of any player, and thanks to his title win, he comfortably qualified for his first PDC majors outside of the UK Open, the Players' Championship Finals, and World Championship at Ali Pali. In Minehead, he faced Darius Labanauskas and lost in the deciding leg in a close game where both players averaged 90. For Ali Pali, he was drawn against Latvia's Mados Razma, and Harry was the outsider with bookmakers. However, on his debut on the most famous stage of all, it was Ward who managed to get the win in a game where both men averaged in the low 80s, but which saw Harry finish with a decent 9 out of 20 darts hit a double. Harry then averaged 84 for the second round running in round 2 and was beaten 3-0 by Simon Whitlock, who won all but 2 legs. That brought an end to his first, and which turned out to be penultimate season on tour, and he finished with a great ranking of 71, meaning he had to climb just 7 places in the following year without having to defend any money to hold on to his tour card. The start of his 2020 season was very tough though, and across the first 18 events of the year, held between February and September and heavily affected by the pandemic, Harry won just 5 games and never more than 2 in one event. His average was 89.19. But during that period, he did have some positives in qualifiers, first coming through the March qualifier for the 3rd Eurotour, which was delayed until October, beating both Willie Borland and Danny Noppert, and then coming through the September qualifier for the World Series of Darts Finals, where he won 5 games, including a decisive match against Chris Dobey, in which both players averaged in the mid-70s. But then 4 days later, his management released this shocking statement. We would like to announce with great sadness that Harry Ward will, at the end of the year, turn in his PDC Tour card. Harry has spoken with us, and we give him his full support with this decision and wish him the very best. The World Series Finals will be a great event for Harry next week, and we can't wait to see him on the big stage once again. Harry released his own statement, saying the following: I have taken this decision very seriously, and taken advice from my friends, family, and management. The pandemic and being with my family this past few months have made me realise I do not have the hunger or desire to be a professional darts player at the very top level. Seeing players like Daryl Gurney and other players within MDA and the effort it takes the travelling involved with the tour has made my decision a tough, but on the other hand an easy one. I'm still very young and I will never say never to a return in the future, and winning a Pro Tour and playing at the Worlds was a great high, and I will treasure these memories for a long time. In some Twitter replies, he also said this: I'm just being brutally honest. The buzz of winning and progressing in the game has worn off, and I love my life outside of darts, so I don't see a future in the game because I have no want to practice at all. It's a shame, but I'm a realist, and me at the top of the game will never happen because I know I'm nowhere near determined enough as the other players, who, by the way, I wish all the best. Just a few days later, he was beaten 6-2 by Darius Labanauskas in his final TV appearance, his World Series final debut, where he averaged 85. Then in October, in what was his final stage appearance on the Eurotour, he averaged just 71.89 in a 6-1 loss to Devon Peterson, who had won the previous Eurotour event. He then chose to withdraw from November's Winter Series, the final block of Players' Championship events of the year, but at the end of that month, he announced he was playing in the World Championship Tour Card Holder Qualifier as his final event before handing in his tour card. At it, he managed to beat Darren Pennell, but then lost 4-2 to Robert Thornton, meaning that his PDC career was over for the time being. He ended the year ranked 57th, meaning that he would have kept his tour card had he not handed it in. Harry was then out of the PDC spotlight for 2 years before announcing at the start of 2023 that he would be playing in the first year of Q School so that he could play on the Challenge Tour that year. He also revealed that he was still very happy with his decision to hand in his card as it allowed him to sort his life out. That year, he played in 19 of the 24 Challenge Tour events with an overall average of 85 and a best run to a final where he was beaten by Barry Van Peer. He also got 3 call-ups back to the Pro Tour but got tough draws each time against Mike DeDecker, Josh Rock and Connor Scott, losing all 3. During that year, and in 2024, he also played in some weeks of the Modus Super Series, most recently in early August of last year when he finished bottom of a Group B with Marvin Van Velzen, Nathan Gervin, Chaz Barstow and Thomas Lovely. Now, I want you to let me know in the comment section down below if there's any interesting players like Harry you want me to make a video about. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, as currently just 15% of my viewers are. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video, and please leave a thumbs up if you learned something new. Thanks for watching.